Good evening, everybody. Today is March 26th. Welcome to another episode of Deliberate Discussions. I am your co host, Vicky Horton.
And I'm your co-host, Adric Parker.
Together, we are
Deliberate
Deliberate Discussion.
Discussions. Hey, friend.
Hey, friend, how are you? I heard you was down here on this end at the Hard Rock, and I heard you hit for a large 47, baby.
Girl, don't tell them, girl, because they're going to be calling me, asking me to borrow some money, girl.
Listen, tell them what $20 you hit with.
Baby, let me tell you something, friend. I just got to say thank you, girl, because I ain't know nothing about no slot machines, about no game. When I tell you, you gave me a complete tutorial, and you was more goddamn excited than I was on FaceTime.
Ooh, Lord, when you got that bonus, I'm like, ooh, come on.
Friend, I swear to God, you were so hyped. Now you was like, this machine is full of shit. Now you did this.
I was mad. Now listen, they made me mad. If I would have been down there, I would have hit all. I would have been banging on that machine so bad.
Friend, when I got off of FaceTime with you and I went and I came back, I saw this little old lady on the corner machine. And she was popping. So that's when I got back and I got on that machine, and that's when I started popping.
That's what I told you. When I done been on a roll, I don't like people coming to play next to me. No, don't be asking me no questions or nothing. That's janky stuff right there.
Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that you don't want nobody beside you, shit nobody. I was just like, okay, well, girl, sit there.
That first machine you was playing, what if you move to the next one and somebody hit on that one? That's why I told you tell your husband to put his ticket in there like he playing, whatever. Even if he would have walked away, leave that ticket in there, turn his seat around. Okay. No, my husband playing now. You know what I'm saying?
So what you're saying is people will watch and see what you're hitting and try to come over and be in your way.
Exactly. They'll try to see how long you've been playing and if you're winning and if you're not. And they'll, once you walk away, they try to get your machine. They definitely try to get, because they be
now, the one thing that I did not like about Hard Rock is the fact that place is the cigarette smoke is.
Oh, yeah. Honey, if you didn't go on non-smoking, they have a non-smoking.
We did go over to non-smoking, friend. Even in non-smoking, you still can smell the smoke. It's not as bad on the floor, but it was bad. They don't have. I understand it's a public place, it's a casino. People want to drink, people want to smoke, but have some type of exhaust system or something.
But they do. But I'm gonna tell you something. Good thing you ain't go next door to what we call either Welfare or Old Smoky. That's Hollywood Classic Casino. That's the original. And there, honey, I call it welfare because you come out that thing up, baby, you be smelling like smoke. I always have to wear one of my old wigs, because, honey, baby, you can wash.
So everything come out of there smelling like smoke, huh?
Oh, child, yes, honey. I mean, you can have on 3 layers of garments and your drawers gonna come out smelling like smoke.
Damn,
that's how strong it is.
That's bad, and I just don't think that I just don't think that non-smokers should be subject to that. And just like even when you think about the workers, or you think about the people that was at the front desk and everything, if they don't smoke, it's just like, how are you standing here for 8 to 12 hours a day in all this damn cigarette smoke?
I hope they make them sign a waiver or something if they get canceled from secondhand smoke.
That's what I'm like. So but other than that, we had a great time. It was a great past 2 days in South Florida.
I know, Josh.
Josh said it was so bad, and Josh has really bad asthma, so it was really, really difficult for him, but he made it through. But it was a great being in Florida.
When you try to go to the table.
Exactly. But we were there to celebrate my mom's 63rd birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Roshan Parker.
Yeah, so she turned 63 on Tuesday, on the 25th, and then we actually went to dinner at the Rustic Inn, which was, my old faithful. Of course, I love me some garlic crab, so we had a really good time. It was a great turnout.
I'm sorry I missed it.
It was, I understand, friend. And it wasn't around the corner, so I know how that traffic is coming south, but she really enjoyed herself. So as long as she were happy, we were happy. And, and it was really good to spend time with her, on her birthday on yesterday and up and down,
I know she enjoyed that. She's so spoiled.
Yeah. So I said, I hope you enjoyed your gift. I was your gift, girl. You could have wrapped me up and wrapped me.
You too big now, Thadric. You too big now, baby. You too big.
But it was a good time, and I'm so glad that we got the opportunity to go down to celebrate with her.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that, friend. I'm glad you made it home safely. Thank you so much for texting me this morning. Let me know you landed
Girl,
safely.
we was out of London. We was up at 3:30 and we was on our flight. We was out of there at 3:30 and we was on our plane at 6 o'clock on our way home.
Mhm.
We was not shucking and jiving.
I know you don't play. I don't think I could travel with y'all because y'all be on time. And I know Josh being a flight attendant and all that stuff. I just too prepared for me. I'll get
Yeah.
all the clothes in the bag and just little dirty clothes with clean clothes, shoes. I don't care what. Just
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
saying you right. You wouldn't because I'm very anal about time. I'm
I
like, we
know
gotta
you
be
are.
boom, boom, boom. I cannot stand waiting for people. That is a pet peeve of mine. And it's so funny because even when I do things with my friends and we want to go place, I'm like, y'all drive y'all own car.
Oh yeah,
I don't want nobody picking me up. I don't want to ride with nobody
yeah.
because I don't want. It's just I'm on time, and again, when I'm ready to go,
Oh, you gonna leave?
I'm
You
ready
gonna
to
leave? Yeah. Yeah.
go. I don't want nobody holding me up.
Like literally 2 seconds after you say, "Come on, let's go." After that, before you get that go out your mouth, you walking out the door.
All right, no friend, this is my cue. All right then. I'm gonna
Oh my god.
holler at y'all here. Okay.
Okay.
You
All right,
see,
so Thaddeus, let's get into this tonight. Let's go ahead and get into these subjects so we can,
woo,
spend this hour with our viewers. And before we do get into any advertising, I do want to ask everybody to head on over to youtube.com, type in Deliberate Discussions, look for the purple logo with the picture of yours truly and my co host. And please click that subscribe button on there and subscribe to our channel because we will be transitioning 100% over to YouTube due to our foul mouths.
y'all know I'm so innocent and pure and just a saint.
Oh, you lie.
Yeah.
You lie and the truth ain't in you. You know what?
Fred, go on and give
I
me
know
some
Miss Katie taught you better than that.
go on and give me some advertisement.
Okay, if you would like to promote your business, your product, or your upcoming event, you can contact us right here on Deliberate Discussions, and we'll be more than happy to run your advertisement on all of our social media sites as well as our live broadcast on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Please give myself a call, 561-325-1488, or you can email deliberatenesscussions@gmail.com.
Thank you. So let's take this on over to Georgia.
Oh, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. Okay.
I will say I have so many questions about this story. It's an unfortunate situation, but let's play this video and come on back.
Yeah.
The bodies of twin brothers found in Towns County near the North Carolina line, 90 miles from their home in Lawrenceville. The GBI initially investigating this as a murder-suicide, but tonight the family says they're not buying it. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn spoke with them just a few hours ago. He's live for us in our newsroom with more on this investigation and what the family has to say, Cody.
Well, Jennifer, the brothers Kydir and Nazir Lewis were twins. The GBI says a hiker found their bodies at the top of Bell Mountain on Saturday morning. Both had been shot. The family couldn't believe it when they got the call hours later, knowing the twin brothers were supposed to be in Boston visiting friends.
We want answers. We want to know exactly what happened to the twins.
Nazir and Kydir Lewis.
Those my nephews.
Just a few weeks shy of their 20th birthday.
I can get past it, they gone.
The twins' uncle, Raheem Bronner.
They're very protective of each other. They love each other. They're like inseparable. So I couldn't imagine them hurting each other because I never even seen them get into a fist fight before.
The GBI saying their preliminary investigation points to the twins' death being a murder-suicide.
We knew right away that wasn't true.
Family says the twins had a 7 a.m. flight to Boston last Friday.
Right there, we never heard from them. They missed their flight. We don't know what happened.
24 hours later, the twins' body found 90 miles away.
How they end out in the mountains, they don't hike out there. They never even been out there. They don't know nothing about Hiwassee, Georgia. They never even heard of Bell Mountains. So how did they end up right there?
A mystery this family is trying to solve.
They had a huge support system. Like, we know them that they wouldn't do anything like this. So to say that they did this to each other when they come from a family of love and they love each other, they always together. We don't believe that. They didn't do this to each other. Something happened in those mountains and we want answers.
I did reach out to the GBI tonight. A spokesperson says the twins' autopsies is finished, but they're awaiting additional forensic testing to be finished, as well as the investigation portion of this before they issue a final ruling on.
Sorry to the audience that the top of that video was cut off. Hope to get that right later. But friend, I feel like something happened before those young boys got to the top of that mountain.
Yeah, and that's the confusing part because how could I say? I mean, who was driving them? There's just so many questions I have. Number one, who was driving them to the airport? Were they driving themselves? Did they take an Uber? If so, it leads to my next question. Okay, do we have tag numbers? Georgia has cameras all over the place.
They do.
Okay, so are we able to get a tag number? Are we able to get cell phone pings? These are not children. These are grown boys. They're 18 or 19 years old, soon to be 20. So these are men, young men.
Correct.
So there's just some questions. I mean, did they go willingly? Maybe was one of them in trouble and the other said, no, bro, I'm going with you. What happened? How did they get from Lawrenceville, bypassing the airport all the way up to the highest point of Bell Mountain?
Correct. And then also keep it in mind that particular part of Georgia where Bell Mountain is located is also a sundown town.
Yes.
And there's just so many, and I just feel as if the media, there's so much left out, which leaves so many questions, because if these young boys their residences in Lawrenceville, like you said, how did they get from Lawrenceville to that part of Georgia? There's just so many unanswered questions. But just like you and I discussion before the show started, are those family members, the aunts and the uncles that was just on video, are they speaking on behalf of the parents?
Now that question that's one of my biggest questions. Where are the parents? What do they have to say about this?
Correct.
And I'm not being heartless or non-sympathetic, or is sympathetic? Is that a word? Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I know the parents are grieving. I'm just wondering, there's no mention of the parents.
Correct.
We only have aunts and uncles that are commenting. And also there's a GoFundMe, which is organized by the aunt, one of the aunts, and accepting donations in her name, not the parents' names. The funeral arrangements are being made by the aunts and the uncles and the cousins. And there's no mention of the parents. I've tried every outlet that I can possibly do in the background, and I can't find anything on these boys' parents.
Yeah, there was no mention whatsoever. So
Right.
There are a lot of unanswered questions. But shortly after that story, when it first aired, and of course, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation was quick to, rule it a murder-suicide. And my question is, hold on a second. It says my baby mama is my baby mama from Summerlin. Nobody goes to Belmont for nothing. Great point.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, other than, like, I don't know, hiking, I mean, I've heard of Bell Mountain, but hiking, and then they were at the highest point of
Correct.
the mountain. So,
but I just think that as a black person, we all know, like, we're black, we're from Florida. We know when we're driving from Florida to Atlanta that, we cross that Florida-Georgia line that we need to go to speed limit. We need to ensure that we don't draw no attention to our vehicle until we get into the metro Atlanta area and everything, because of all those towns from the Georgia line all the way up are sundown towns and can be very racist and everything, including the cops or the highway patrol and stuff. So these young boys being 19 years old, how the hell they get up there?
I don't know, but they were actually closer to the North Carolina border than they were to Lawrenceville.
Correct. So shortly thereafter, when they deemed it a murder-suicide, I would honestly say the next day after they deemed it a murder-suicide, and they were The investigation wasn't closed because you say they were waiting for more information, Vicky?
Yes, they did make a statement on Sunday, the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, that the autopsies have been completed and they deemed it the murder suicide. However, they have not finalized it due to further forensic testing. So that makes me feel or think that maybe they know something more than what they're literally telling the public. And to go into that and not to, I'm going to swing back around on this, but maybe there's a firefighter, volunteer firefighter that released photos of the young men. So maybe that's why they're being hush hush.
Okay. Well, I'm going to. So when they released the information the next day, when they came out with an update, it was quite interesting. I'm glad that you opened the door to that because this is the second.
Firefighter is facing charges for posting a photo of a deadly crime scene on social media. The pictures were of a double death investigation of 19-year-old twin brothers. They were found shot to death at the top of a mountain in North Georgia. And Channel 2's Taisha Fernandez is in Towns County in Hiawassee, where all this has the community talking.
You've never been up here. I just want to show you how difficult it is to get to the top of Bell Mountain. This is the one road you can take. It's narrow, it's steep, and it was very, very windy. People in this community who come up here often, they were shocked that twin boys were up here, both shot to death, and it's just hard for them to believe that this was a murder-suicide.
As a parent, that's a hard buy.
Shane Bray is puzzled by the deaths of these twin brothers, especially after the GBI said this was being investigated as a murder-suicide.
I can't say what happened. Wasn't there, but that's a tough sell.
Quadir and Nazir Lewis were 19-year-old identical twins from Lawrenceville. According to their family, they had lots of love between one another and lots of life plans, including a trip to Boston scheduled the day before they were found dead. Investigators found them both shot to death at the top of Bell Mountain, nearly 100 miles away from home, with the plane tickets to Boston in their wallets. Tuesday, the GBI arrested a Towns County volunteer firefighter, Scott Curlin, and charged him with misdemeanor obstruction. They say he took a photo of the deadly crime scene and posted it on social media. We knocked on his door in Hiawassee. We saw him, but he wouldn't open the door. We just want to give you a chance to explain your side. Investigators say there's no evidence that suggests there's any other person involved. The Lewis family doesn't believe this was a murder-suicide. They want answers, and the community does too.
Well, you just hope that they do their due diligence, and you got to put your faith in the system and pray the system works. But bottom line is, it's two young men that had a bright future that their parents don't have them anymore. There's no good end to this story.
So lots of people are waiting for this extra forensic testing that the GBI is doing. It's a huge mystery in this community, and everyone wants to know what happened to the twins. We will stay on the story.
That was not no goddamn murder suicide.
No. Listen, three things I want to talk about. First, Vincent Wheeler posted a comment. If you drive from Florida to Tennessee, you know where to not stop on that mountain, or North Carolina. Facts. I just drove from Florida to Tennessee for Christmas.
Correct. You're right.
With a truck full of my kids and my family. And I drove all the way there and all the way back. Okay. I've driven those mountains before. When I moved from Chicago, I drove back to Florida. Okay. So I've driven in the mountains, and I'm gonna tell you something. Baby, I look at that tank of gas and I calculate how many miles it is from just regular civilization. And I'm like, I don't care. Even if it costs $10 to fill up, I'm filling up. I'm not taking no chances. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if I got 3/4 of a tank. I'm putting it on full because I don't want to stop anywhere around those mountains at all.
But just like the gentleman said in the video, the update video just there, even the community themselves are shocked at those boys. They're calling it a murder suicide.
Look at all that graffiti on the mountain. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Notice that? All that graffiti?
But then also, I don't know if you saw that one. There was one frame where they showed the yellow tape where it appeared as if it was like right off the road.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, so if it was just right off the road, it's not like it was like all the way up in the bush. It was like literally right off the road where they found the bodies. That's what leads me to believe that those bodies were dumped there.
Yeah. And why drive that far to commit murder suicide? I mean,
Correct.
it's
And
just
then-
there's so much that's not making any sense.
correct. And on top of that, there was another key thing that they said in the update story that the young boys had their plane tickets in their wallets.
Now that and the fact that he mentioned their parents are missing them. Listen, and this is my opinion. Okay, this is my thought. This does not necessarily reflect the thoughts of my co-host or deliberate discussions as a whole. But like I said, there has been no mention of these boys' parents. I just find it awfully convenient that their plane tickets with their names are left on their person. No one said anything about cell phones. Are there cell phones with the plane tickets? They said that their tickets were in each of their wallets. How convenient. What's the chances of twins actually placing their plane tickets in the same exact spot on their person? I'm sorry. I look at stuff differently. Maybe because I watch too much CSI New York, or I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Come on, Forensic Files. You turn this shit off.
I watch Forensic Files. I watch the ID channel. I will watch that all night. My TV stays on the whole night long because I'm watching it. Maybe
that you still around there watching reruns of the first 48.
Listen, yes, Unsolved. I even watch Unsolved Mysteries with Elliot Ness, man. Honey, listen, I don't know. It's just so many questions.
That's true.
But whatever the case, I don't know what these young men were dealing with, what they went through, if they went through something. Because I mean, the family keeps saying that they have a very good support system. Okay, I get it. But Quadir and Nazir, I really pray that justice is brought to those that harmed you in any way. And please go to their GoFundMe. They have a GoFundMe. Go to GoFundMe.com. They were looking to raise $20,000. I checked earlier today. They were already past that goal. They were at $23,000. But when we logged in tonight, they have doubled the 23. They're now a little bit over $55,000.
Forensic Files, first order. It makes you look at things like this differently for sure. That is right, Maria.
Definitely, Maria. Definitely. And I mean, I'm just one of those people, and that, he doesn't want to take away from the tragedy that's taken place, but we have to look at all angles. If the family wants answers, they have to give us answers too. Where are the parents?
One of the things that the young lady just said in the update, that the coroners have said that the autopsies are complete, but the other department is running further testing, forensic testing. So my question would be, what are you testing? If the autopsies are complete, what are you testing? Is there a vehicle involved? Is there a cell phone involved? Or is there other blood or other items left at the crime scene and everything? So that's what leaves it so open to further questioning and scrutiny, because we don't know what they're questioning. And unfortunately, and I hate to say this and to bring race into it, but it is reality. These are two Black young men in a sundown town.
Yeah.
Those goddamn people don't give a damn. And when they were so quick to deem this a murder-suicide without further investigation.
Yeah. I mean, you got
the other question I had, this firefighter that's from the area.
Oh yeah, let's get on his ass.
The firefighter that's been arrested, that's from the area, goes up and takes pictures of the crime scene and posts them on social media.
Nasty dog. Now you know what that gives right now. That gives racism all over it.
Correct.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That gives like lynching to me. I mean, you putting it out there so people can see it and judge it and talk about it. You didn't put it out there for the good.
Correct.
Put it out there because you wanted to gloat. That's what I felt from that.
Yeah, what did you say? Method of murder
isn't being released.
Yep. So, but we'll keep. This is an interesting story, friend. We most definitely have to continue to follow this, because I really want to know the update. And my thing is, will their view what they've deemed it murder-suicide, will that change after further, forensic testing come back and all this crap? So
hopefully it will, and the family can get some answers. So
okay. So, friend, have you shopped at Family Dollar before?
Oh, friend, I go in there and get like cleaning supplies or something, when I'm running low. Something like that.
Okay. Now, have you ever had to check one of them bitches at the Family Dollar?
You know what? Everybody in Family Dollar, in every Family Dollar, got a nasty ass attitude, you know. And I'm sorry, but they do. Like, I don't know if it's because they don't like Family Dollar, but when you go into Dollar General, them people are nice. Dollar General is the yellow sign with the black.
Correct. Yeah,
so
correct.
I don't know. Family Dollar is the red sign with the white writing. But
correct.
And they also own Dollar Tree. But when you go in Family, they be so rude, like all that stuff. Then they got everything. I hate y'all got buzzers on everything.
They do.
I would got to get a damn pack of M&Ms. They got a buzz on the damn M&Ms.
Well, we had a real G going to Family Dollar, and he did not play with their ass. Just hold on a minute here.
Oh,
Lord. All right. Let me give you a word of advice. Man, you got to watch what you say when you say it. Because this is what I'm saying. Because you don't know who speaks Spanish. Yo soy cubano, ¿me entiendes? Pero yo soy cubano. Y cuando habla de la gente negra, estoy hablando de mí también. Okay, but I'm just saying, you need to watch what you say. Okay, I'm just letting you know though. When you talk about people, especially black people, man, watch what you're saying. I ain't recording you. I'm recording myself. I'm recording you now. So, you know what? That's what I'm saying. They be talking that shit Spanish, thinking people don't understand their ass. Yo soy cubano. Cuando hablan de mierda de negro, estoy hablando de mí también. So when you talk about black folks in Spanish, a bunch of them understand what the fuck you're saying. No, y'all talking that nigga shit Spanish. Yo soy cubano, yo entiendo. Cuando hablas esa mierda de negro, estoy hablando de mí también.
All I can do is die laughing because that is me. I would set it.
I know. Oh, man, your mouth is so reckless. Shout out to that man in that video. His name is Dion Chico Young.
Girl, I love Dion.
He identifies himself as Afro-Latino. And baby, he checked them. He checked them real good. And he waited until, look, anything for Salinas. She was so embarrassed because she was shocked. You could hear it in her voice. And then the first thing that come out of her mouth is not, I'm sorry, I should have said that. The first thing that come out of her mouth, are you recording me? You can't record me. Because you know you're in trouble. And the young lady did lose her job, as she should have been terminated for discrimination. And I'm just going to say this. He told her just right.
Baby.
You are a minority, Damon.
I have watched that video so many times, and every time I watch it, I die laughing because all I can think is myself and how I would turn the store upside down.
Like, you don't shop in Family Dollar.
But and the funny thing is,
rude. They are so rude in there. Like I literally hate going in there. They are so very rude, and then you can the store is always junky to begin with.
Yeah, they have boxes everywhere. But I have always said, like, if I learned Spanish, all I want to learn is Spanish cuss words. And when I heard this man curse in Spanish, oh my God, that just took me out of here. You hear what I say? But Fred, there was an update because this video actually went viral. Okay. And Family Dollar actually saw the video, and their corporate department actually contacted this man. So I want to show you in the audience part 2 to this video. Hold one moment.
Like I said, my intention wasn't to get her fired, was to check her, to watch what you say, because you never know who will understand you. So you see me as a black person, but you don't know my roots. You know what I'm saying? So and that's what I'm trying to wake her up to. Man, you never know who will understand you, because there's a bunch of us Afro-Latinos que habla español. Y como yo parle français aussi, I speak French and Spanish. So,
did you ever expect the video to blow up the way it did?
No, I did not. And you know, I didn't video it. Like I'm telling people, I didn't video to get the girl fired. What happened was I was in the store, Family Dollar, and I was buying a few things and some soap and stuff like that. Now, the one lady, she was on the aisle with me. She knew I spoke Spanish because I had my phone on speaker, and I was talking to a customer in Spanish. So she knew I spoke Spanish. The girl behind the counter, she probably didn't. So as I was going through the line, the lady in front of me, she had a little girl, and her little girl had some little tennis, and they were black. So she asked the girl behind the counter, what about the white tennis? She said, no, the white tennis, they were speaking Spanish. She said, the white tennis for boys. She said, but when I opened up the box, I put the box behind the counter because she said in Spanish, porque los negros estaban robando. The black people, and I'm going to say it without being derogatory, but she's saying the black people would be stealing the tennis. But she said it in Spanish in a derogatory way. So the lady in front of me, who knew I spoke Spanish, turns around and looked at me in the face. And then she started engaging in the conversation. No, estos negros siempre allá están robando las cosas. So I'm sitting in line. I'm really holding my peace to keep from going off because I don't want to act a fool. So I wait till she burn off, and I tell the little sister behind the counter, I said, let me give you a word of advice. I said, man, you'll never know. I said, you'll never know who you offend. And as I'm trying to tell her, I guess she's snapping. Did he understand me? So I tell her in Spanish, yo soy cubano. To let her know I understand. So now she's going to the fence and trying to explain to me why she said what she said, you know what I'm saying? And I was videoing myself. And then she hollered for her manager, he's videoing me, so I'm like, I wouldn't, but I say I am now. So I put her on blast. And like I said, my intention wasn't to get her fired, was to check her, to watch what you say, because you never know who understand you. So you see me as a black person, but you don't know my roots. You know what I'm saying? So and that's why I'm trying to wake her up to, man, you never know who understand you. Because there's a bunch of us Afro-Latinos que habla español. Y como yo parle français aussi, I speak French and Spanish. So you see the man, but you don't know the roots. And that was my thing. You never know who you offend because you never know who understand you.
Right. And what was that moment like when you got a call from corporate?
I can't say this now. Corporate called me to apologize. That made me feel good that somebody took out their time, that somebody responded to my complaint, because it was my Facebook fam, one of my Facebook Wanda. She called it, she posted it, she sent it to corporate, and corporate called me and they said, man, we sorry, man. We sorry, that should have never happened. I explained to them what happened, and they said she never should have had that conversation. So they did apologize. They did call me and reach out to me to give me a sincere apology that they were sorry. And that they would take care of, rectify the situation. Like I told them, I wasn't trying to get her fired, but say lo que sea, it is what it is.
You see the man, but you don't know my roots.
That was a sexy man, honey. He defended 3 nationalities, baby. Let me tell you something. He defended 3 races, baby.
Did you hear that man speak, Vicky?
Man, that man looks so sexy right now. I ain't even lying. You know what I'm saying? Hey, baby, Chico.
What'd you say? Holla at your friend. You see what Josh said? He said, I'm happy you ain't bilingual. I be popping my shit. You hear what I say?
Patrick, if you could speak Spanish, oh God, thank God you ain't bilingual.
Girl, I will be popping my shit. I swear to God. I'd be like, what?
Oh, I would say he speak French, English, and Spanish. Oh yes. Come on, Chico, come through. But listen, that kind of stuff, we have so much hate in this country already. It's enough of black on black crimes. It's enough of, Asian on black crimes, black on Asian crimes. It's just too much hate. And for one man to represent 3 races, 3 nationalities, that is just, I know Creole and French are, they're the same, but they're different, but technically 4. When you speak for the Latino, the French, and the American, and the black American race. Right. You've done an amazing thing, brother. Shout out to you.
Yeah, that was really good. I really enjoyed that, man.
Yeah.
God damn, and he just stood up for people. Because a lot of people wouldn't say anything. They'd be like,
no, exactly. And I'm like, I only understood a couple of words in there, whatever, but it wouldn't have been enough to justify why, I'm getting on them or whatever. I understand some things, only because of my friend Alex used to say certain things.
Okay.
From her, so, but yeah.
Cool.
Business says they forgot 80% of slaves went to South America. I didn't realize it was 80%. I forgot who my history teacher is at Atlantic High School too. But that's a lot of people going over to South America.
Yeah,
it really is. That's a lot of people going over to South America.
Wow.
Shout out to Dion Chico Young.
You know the whole name, friend.
Yeah. I've been looking Chico up all day, man. That's his nickname, Chico.
Okay. So, friend, let me ask you this question. Have you ever taken an Uber, and then when you've taken an Uber, have you ever felt safe or unsafe?
Yeah, yes, and yes, and no, because I keep I keep my peace on me.
Okay.
Pieces.
Okay.
I keep that fire near at all times, and
Okay.
my hand be right on my purse.
And you be ready.
I be ready.
Okay.
On wrong turn. I kid you not. A few weeks ago, true story. A few weeks ago, my daughter had my car and I had to Uber home. And the guy, I was telling him to turn into my development, and he
Okay.
actually bypassed it. And I'm
Okay.
like, no. I said, you need to turn around and go in that way. And he's like, oh, the GPS is taking me this way. I said, let me see.
Okay.
And yeah, so I mean, I don't play that game.
And that's good. And the fact that you stay vigilant and because some of these drivers will take their own way and I'm like, no, this is the way you need to go. I know where I live or whatever. That's great. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen for everyone. Some people don't speak up. They just sit there and everything. And which led to this next story that we'll talk about, which is so, so unfortunate. So let's play this video and come on back.
Confirming today that 30-year-old Shanti Dixon was found death. Just next to the dead-end road where she was found on is where Dixon lived. IMPD arresting 29-year-old Francisco Valadez for allegedly killing Dixon. Police say he was her rideshare driver and picked her up around 3:30 in the morning to take her home, but she never made it. While the chief wouldn't say what rideshare app Valadez was working for, according to court documents, he was working for Uber the night he allegedly killed Dixon. In a statement from Uber, they say Valadez has since been banned from driving for the company and that they will assist IMPD with their investigation.
Women, you have a right to exist in this community safely, and you have a right to use these ride shares safely. Trust yourself.
And while police say rideshare apps are typically safe to use, they recommend doing things like making sure the driver in the car matches what it says on the app, share your ride with people you know, and if something doesn't feel right, ask the driver to pull over.
That is just, oh God, Jesus, bless her heart. What type of, oh God, this story is just so disheartening. Just to hear this woman scream the way that she did. And the house that she went to, I'm like, did she break free out of the car or something? Was he,
No, I think that beginning of that video, that was actually them. That was her people. That was her family screaming after they told them that they were reacting after hearing that they found her. That's what I thought that was.
No, that was him grab her.
Oh, okay.
No, she ran to someone's home and he grabbed her and like he abducted her. She got out of the vehicle.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. I was because it was just so fast. So I was thinking, I said, okay, I'm like, is that when they told the family?
She was literally screaming for help, and he grabbed her and took her back to the vehicle. And when I did further research on that story, a family member actually had her location on the phone and followed the location and both of her phones, correct. And when they got there, he was actually still and for the second time, raping her.
Josh wants you to play the
beginning. Oh, yeah, hold on a moment. I'll play it again.
The whole thing.
Shanti Dixon was found death. Just next to the dead-end road where she was found on is where Dixon lived. IMPD arresting 29-year-old Francisco Valadez for allegedly killing Dixon. Police say he was her rideshare driver and picked her up around 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
You didn't go further enough.
Oh, hold on a second.
You want to see the Ring camera? That first of all, is this right here. Don't be on this while you're in a ride in an Uber.
I've actually been in an Uber before. When I lived in California, I was in an Uber, and this particular Uber driver, although I'm a man, but this particular Uber driver had the child safety lock on the door, and he had the windows locked.
Oh, hell to the no.
And I asked him, I said, is there a reason why the door won't open? Don't you have the child safety lock? And he was just like, oh, I just have the locks on the door, if I can let people out. I said, well, I don't feel comfortable. And I made him, take it off or whatever. Do you know he canceled the ride when I did that? When I said I didn't feel comfortable?
I hope you reported him.
Yeah, of course I did. I did report
I
it.
was gonna say, 'cause, that's a no-no.
Yeah.
I drove Uber for a long time. That's a no-no.
Yeah. And I wanted to, when I spoke to you about this story, I thought it was important to bring to this platform because, there's so many women that take Uber alone in their story, it's not told, or something happens, or there's so many parents that also put their children in
Yes.
Uber alone.
Oh my God. I used to pick up so many kids
Uh-huh.
and from schools and bring them home, or I pick them up from home or from practice or whatever. And it was mostly in the Boca Raton area, a lot of the, upscale neighborhoods. But the thing is, this one kid, his mom, it was her first time using Uber and she ordered it.
Okay.
And it had me going all over the place. She had put in the wrong address
Oh,
for
no.
her home. And it had me, but I refused. I just kept the ride going. And, it worked out. I said, son, listen, I'm gonna stop. I need you to call your mom and I need you to let me talk to her. So that's what that is. But, as far as women's safety, like I said, this right here, we're in the back seat and we're comfortable and we're just like this the whole ride. And I mean, we're not thinking, we're scrolling through our social media, whatever. We're not looking up to see where we are. I mean, we're not paying attention whether left or right. I'm not on my phone when I'm in an Uber.
Mhm.
I'm not, unless I'm in the car unless I'm in there with someone else. But when I'm alone, I'm actually not on my phone. I'm sitting there just like this here. Look, man, my hand be right down my bag.
Okay, you want to see.
No,
Okay.
I ain't got this tall, look.
Exactly. But you also know, friend, there are options in the Uber app as well as the Lyft app where when you get in, you can immediately share your ride with someone
Yes,
else.
with someone else. And I used to do that as well as a driver. I used to share my location at that time, my partner.
Right.
And, if my partner wasn't available, I would share my location with my daughters.
Uh-huh.
So I still, either way, even with Apple now, my location is constantly being shared with my kids.
Hmm.
So, I mean, that I keep on. But, thank God her mom had her phone pinging, both her phones, and was able to give them the code to the phone. And, they were able to track him down. But here's my thing. Did you see the story that he came up with?
I did not. What did? Mm-mm.
He told them, friend, he changed his story so many times. They went to his house. Okay, they questioned him. He told the police he picked her up. He admitted to picking her up on Sunday, but then he started telling them how an armed black man came up to his car and tried to rob the lady. Then he said, "This is not funny, but it's funny because this fool just like, bruh, seriously." And then he said the man shot her in the thigh and that she kicked herself out of his car and he left the scene. But why didn't you report it? Why didn't you report a crime if that's what happened? Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I mean, he told these people two different stories.
But also sometimes one thing that you have to be mindful of is you need to look at that picture on that app and make sure it's the person that's driving.
Yes, and the tag number.
And the tag, correct, because there have been times where people have gotten into wrong vehicles, but there's also been times where the picture has been one person, but the driver's been someone completely different because people tend to share their accounts. And I don't know if that was it in this particular case, but I'm just like, how was this monster on the road? And it has he done something like this to someone else that we just don't know about?
Yeah, probably has. And I'm telling you, the thing about Uber, they do random facial recognition for the drivers. Every now and again, we have to scan our phone before we can get another ride share. And if it doesn't scan, that's why they say you can't have other people in the car with you. You're not supposed to, have someone else driving because it'll ask for that facial recognition. And I feel like for every ride, I think they should be doing that.
Okay.
Just
As an Uber driver, you are not allowed to have someone else in the vehicle.
Oh no,
for your safety. Okay.
You're not even supposed to have a dog in the car.
Okay.
Your own personal dog. You're not. And I see some Uber drivers that have their pets in the car. There's one Uber driver that has his dog in there, and the dog loves all the riders, and the rider loves the dog. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what the hell? But I mean, instead of them being, so lenient about a red light camera ticket and, finding their drivers and not giving us 5 stars. I mean, they need to be looking more into these people backgrounds and stuff. And it's very unfortunate that this happened to this young lady at 3:30 in the morning.
3:30 in the morning.
She had to be tired.
Yeah.
She had to be. And for him to do this, and he raped her.
Uh-huh.
He admitted to raping her. He admitted to shooting her. That's disgusting.
Yeah,
And he just left her there, just discarded her.
Yeah. Yeah. So women, I mean, not even women, just everyone. I mean, just taking these rideshare companies, please be vigilant. Excuse me. Please be vigilant. Please, ensure that you are verifying that it is the correct driver. Making sure that the tag matches what's on the app, and also making sure that you share your ride with other people that you can trust. That will, follow that ride from beginning to end, because it is really, really serious out here in these streets when it comes down to these rideshare apps.
It is.
So friend, I didn't think. I'm glad that going into our next story that we only going to Florida once tonight.
Florida, listen, our state is something else, but we're going to get it right.
I mean, because y'all always got some shit going on, but this
is from Florida too. Don't even start that mess. Go ahead.
I mean, I claim my city, Delray Beach, but all them other places outside of Delray.
You kill me with that.
It's a little shaky, friend. But this particular story is very heartbreaking as well. And although it happened a couple of weeks ago, we have been discussing it, and tonight we finally bring it on the show. And
we talk about this story like literally every day since it happened.
We have. So let's go into let's play the video and come on back.
You'll do the second one, first one?
Take this off. Give me 1 second. I just had to take something off my screen. There you go.
Down on the bench over here and we'll talk.
An encounter captured on body camera just one day before a man broke essentially every bone in a Florida nurse's face.
You guys have a family dispute over something?
Yeah.
33-year-old Steven Scantlebury is seen on body camera video telling deputies he was worried about things going on. His mother, who we are not showing, shares with deputies her concern over her son's mental health.
Do you want to go to JFK North Hospital and talk to a mental health professional? No. Okay.
Deputies deemed Scantlebury was not a danger to himself at the time. One day later, Scantlebury would take himself to the hospital where 67-year-old Leilama Law was critically injured, allegedly attacked by Scantlebury while he was under a psychiatric hold. According to a report from Florida's Agency for Healthcare Administration, inspectors found no deficiencies in state safety regulations. Leilama Law's daughter, Cindy, says that while the hospital is not in violation, she believes regulations needed to be adapted.
Are you trying to get my attention?
Yes.
Can you sit down on the bench over here and we'll talk?
An encounter captured on body camera just one day.
I'm sorry, play it over again. How was the hospital not in violation?
I fault the sheriff's office. I fault the hospital, security, HCA, protocol, because even and I hear what the newscaster is saying. They have to say it. I understand. And they're saying he's not a threat to himself at that time.
But the mother said that she was concerned about his mental health, his mental state. And it's so often that when that's reported, it's ignored.
Yeah. And this is the way I see it is they put emphasis on he took himself to the hospital the next day. So that takes the blame off of the sheriff's office for not taking him in as a signal 20, meaning that,
As a what program?
Signal 20.
Okay.
So he allegedly took himself in the next day. To me, protocol should be, and it used to be, if a person came in and for mental issues and said, they're having mental issues, or if someone is reporting them, they will Baker Act them for up to 72 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And if the sheriff office had taken him, they should have handcuffed him or either called hospital security and handcuffed him to the bed.
Correct.
And maybe this wouldn't happen, but I mean, this is God's will that it happened this way. Unfortunately, Lilama is the one that went through this, and I mean, I don't know. I'm shaken up by it because I can't imagine.
But there's still some liability on the hospital part with her being.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. The hospital security.
Yeah, correct. With her being an employee and a patient beat the hell out of her like that, there should have been.
Here's the thing: do we know that she is the one that did the intake? The intake comes from the ER. You don't just walk into a hospital room and just get. They do a whole intake thing on you.
Correct.
So from intake all the way, I mean, even from security, that hospital is right up the street. There's security at the ER. They monitor who they let in and behind those doors. So all of them are accountable for what actually happened to this nurse. And who's to say that, she was the one on call to receive him as his nurse?
Mm-hmm.
He had to be assigned to her, and whoever registered him and took him in or took his vitals, because they definitely take your vitals before they take you back. Something was broken during that time. But it's so unimaginable that every bone in your face.
Yeah, he broke every. So what is his charges right now?
The charges. I want to say they upgraded him to attempted murder. Let me see, because I was looking at that.
And then I also saw another report or something that he can plead insanity or something or whatever he's trying to plead.
Yeah, by mental illness. So that's how he's gonna dodge the attempted murder charge.
Okay.
So by mental defect.
Damn.
So it's unfortunate, that it happened to her. But there are some things I'm with the daughter, Cindy, on that the hospital HCA needs to be held accountable for what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, she's probably got workers' comp, but thing is, no, that's beyond workers' comp.
Correct. I shouldn't have to use my workers' comp because
that's beyond.
Yeah, I'm on a job and I get almost killed by a patient.
Who's the security company for HCA?
But there's also, when I was just there in Florida and I happened to catch the news one night, and the nurses at the hospitals are, protesting and, and that they don't feel safe in these hospitals. And, there's always been a lot of violence and stuff like that. And they're fighting to get more protection and stuff like that. So hopefully y'all governor gets involved and give these hospitals more protection.
He's charged with a hate crime enhancement charge.
Yeah.
What the hell is a hate crime enhancement? And then here, okay, there's an update. Hate crime enhancement downgraded to second degree attempted murder.
Because you can't the prosecutors cannot beat a hate crime charge if did he verbalize something against her race? Did he write something against her race? Was there witnesses to him calling her, some type, something derogatory concerning her race? It's just like, why would you put a hate, this is attempted murder. Clearly, he broke every bone in this woman's face. It was a deliberate beating.
A witness ran out of the room to get help, so obviously the witness must have heard something. The document shows the witness said Scantlebury jumped on top of his bed and then on top of the nurse like a fucking animal. Excuse me, y'all.
Excuse me.
All I can think of is a damn ape, a silverback gorilla, something on this little old lady. Seriously.
And broke it, and she just was just helpless. And she's clear into her 60s. Yeah, it's so unfortunate. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Documents show that when one of the witnesses yelled at Scantlebury, he stopped hitting the nurse and ran out of the room through the hallway, down a stairwell, across the parking lot, and into traffic where he was taken. How the hell does this man get through all of this at a hospital?
Correct.
Without being stopped?
Exactly.
Don't they have medication there? I mean, damn, I would have got to him faster with one of my damn Seroquel pills. God dang, this is horrible.
Now, what's those pills free and what they for?
Sarah Quinn.
We'll talk about that off air. Oh God.
Cat
But
Williams say Sarah Quell is the devil.
okay. But
Hey
no.
Chris, no, this was in Palms West, not JFK. But there was another incident at JFK, but it was another patient who
Another
attacked
patient.
a worker. I sent you that story too, Thaddeus.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Damn, we ain't safe nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't safe. We ain't safe in the Uber. We ain't safe in the damn cars. We ain't safe at home. We ain't safe at work. We not safe at the hospital. Damn, what if we can't go to the hospital and get help? Where the hell can we go?
Exactly.
We can't run to the police because they lock the doors to the police station now.
They do. You gotta be.
When did they start doing that? Locking the doors at the police station.
You got to be buzzed in.
Who rings a bell at the police station? How are you gonna protect and serve with a damn bell?
Child, you don't know what a fool walking in that damn police station with. Friend, I did want to tell you something. I did want to bring up something before we ended the show.
Okay.
You and I had a conversation yesterday. Well, we had been talking about it for the last 2 days, and we got more in depth with the conversation on yesterday. And I just wanted to personally thank you on air for understanding my view about a story that we discussed. And how deeply that story affected me. I really, really appreciate you understanding. But I will say this. I have not stopped thinking about that story, although you and I had a very in-depth conversation about it. I won't disclose the young man's name because, again, like I expressed to you, of protecting him. But I will tell you that I'm completely still disturbed by the comments that you and I both viewed concerning the situation. And we have a wide range of viewers. And I will say this, people have a right to believe what they want to believe in and support what they want to support and everything. And I would never take that from anybody. That's their right. But I will say, as a parent, be mindful of what you put on the internet.
Yes, yes.
Be mindful of what you post in the comments, because one day it can very well be your story.
Yeah. And people have to also pick a side. I mean, they have double standards in
That is very true.
when it comes to deadbeat fathers and just men in general. Like, there's a whole different way of thinking about a man who's involved in his child's life and a man who isn't. And it's just it's so many double standards. And I don't understand it. Like, don't people realize, and I think I said this to you last night, what they could possibly be doing to a person that they don't even know? They could literally be driving that person to commit suicide,
Very true.
harm themselves or someone else, for all that matters.
And then also, when I think about women, women are held to a completely different standard than men.
They are. And
we can go out and we can sleep around with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, and we are applauded.
Player.
We a player. If a woman does it, y'all a hoe.
Okay. Oh, that old nasty hoe. She done been ran through. She a eater and
Exactly.
all this, fought and all this other. Like, dang.
Two lesbians can be together and live happily ever after. They can walk down the street and hold hands. And oh wow, look at that.
Let two men do it though.
And let them two men do it though. Oh, we all type of standards and all this here and everything.
Yeah, it's all double standards.
It is.
And that's why I said this country already has. How can you condemn Donald Trump for the things that he and Elon Musk are doing when you yourself can't look into your own heart and say, you know what? My heart is clear. I have no racism, no prejudiceness. You're no better than Donald Trump. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you, our viewer.
Correct.
Whoever's watching this, I'm talking to you. Look inside your own heart before you condemn someone else about their life choices and see if you're okay with yourself. Everything you've done is 100% perfect. No.
Yeah.
Think about what you could be doing to that person.
And it's sad. I mean, the comments that we saw are just
Oh my God, they're disgusting. There was only one comment out of I saw a couple of good ones, but there was one that really truly stood out to me, and I'm holding on to that one.
Okay.
I sent it to you, but I'm
You
saying
did. You did.
when I
You
say
did.
I'm holding on to it, I'm gonna think about that comment and say, you know what, there are more people like that out there.
Correct. And I will say this, it's just like I guess you get to for me, you get to a point in life where you can give a damn about who accepts you, who respects you, this, that, the other and stuff or whatever. It's like my thing is, as long as you don't touch me, I'm good.
Okay, keep your
Just okay. That's how you feel. All right. Because whether you feel the way or not, me and Joshua still got to pay these bills in this goddamn house. You understand what I'm saying? So you feeling the way you feel ain't gonna change nothing. You get what I'm saying, friend?
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's just like, but I wanted to just personally thank you on air because you got it. You understood.
You will. Always.
Yeah, you know, and
I'm built different than most women.
you
I
are.
really am. I really am.
And I know I'm holding back.
I know, and I was getting ready to let you know we're already a minute and a half over.
That's fine. So
And
I'm gonna go ahead and
friend, you need your rest.
I know I'm gonna go to bed, but I can't close
I know, but you need to go to bed. Josh.
I can't close this show out without my little motivation.
Okay.
Okay, so hold on.
Motivation.
Let me tell you something. They heard you the first time. Stop repeating yourself. Stop begging. Stop showing up. Stop making people a priority in your life when they look at you as only an option. Listen, signs are clear to Aquafina. Do not make excuses for people who don't show up for you. And remember, people who can can hear. And people are aware of what purpose you serve in their life. They're gonna show it through their words and through their actions. Come on. Go on and find you someone who's going to appreciate and love you for who you are. They out there. Go.
She said my favorite words. I said it all the time. You can hum, you can hear.
You absolutely right, and I did not catch that. You do.
If you can hum, you can hear. When I call it, don't hum, you can hum, you can hear.
Oh God! But no, so I just want you guys to go on with that. When I heard that, I actually listened to that video a few times because it just made so many sense. Because it's so often we show up and show out for people. And because it's just like, I mean, for me, I can only speak for myself. That's just who I am. You get what I'm saying? But I'm just at a point at almost 49 years old where I'm like, child, fuck you and the boat you rode in on. And in that, I'm going to say good night.
Oh, good night, everybody. We love you guys.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of y'all week, and we'll see you guys next week on another episode of the